What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Wiregrass High School Football Report, brought to you by Digital Strategies and Wiregrass Daily News. I'm your host, Phillip Jordan, in-studio host and producer of Dustin Football on 96.9 The Legend, and you are listening to the Wiregrass High School Football Report, your weekly look at all things high school football in the Wiregrass. Got a fun show planned for you guys today. We're going to be joined by Cottonwood Bears head coach Dustin Harrison. The Bears defeated Rehobeth 32-21 on Friday night in a 6A versus 2A matchup. These two were old-time rivals. Used to play on a regular basis every year. They kind of restarted a rivalry back in 2010, 2013, but it hadn't played since then. And as a graduate of Cottonwood High School, I just remember how big that rivalry between Cottonwood and Rehobeth was. So we'll be talking to Coach Harrison in just a few moments about that. And actually, we're going to do the show a little bit differently this week than we normally do. Of course, normally I'll open up with the Around the Wiregrass segment. We'll go over all the scores, then the interview, and then we'll give you the schedule for the week. We're going to do things a little bit differently this week. What we're going to do is I'm going to play the interview first, and then we'll go around the Wiregrass. See if you like that change better than the other way of doing it. But before we do all that, let you guys know you can find me in the podcast. Find me on social media at PJordanSEC. Podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please follow, rate, and review. Leave a review. I will read it on a future edition of the show. Check out the show over at Wiregrass Daily News as well. And actually, we are streaming this thing live on YouTube right now on a Sunday night over my YouTube channel, Phillip Jordan Sports. So if you catch it on the replay, you can always go check out the podcast as well. You can always email me at sports.philipjordan@gmail.com. Now, before I play my conversation with Coach Harrison, I do want to let you guys know we did this a little differently. I recorded this interview with my phone, so I don't sound as good as I probably do now. I sound like I'm on the phone. Let's just call it what it is. But great interview, and I hope you enjoy my conversation with Cottonwood Bears head coach Dustin Harrison. Everybody joining me this week on the Wiregrass High School Football Report is Cottonwood head coach Dustin Harrison. The Bears are coming off a 32-21 win over Rehobeth in a non-region game on Friday night. And Coach Harrison, appreciate you taking the time once again and coming on the show, and congrats on the win on Friday night.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on. Any chance I get to talk about our Cottonwood football team, I'll take it. So.
Absolutely. And it was a big win for you guys, 32-21, as I mentioned, out-of-region play. Of course, this is an old rivalry. Last time I had you on, it was renewed an old rivalry at Ashford, but this time it's with Rehobeth. Hadn't played them, I think, since 2013. But just overall, just talk about, how you felt your team performed in the win on Friday night.
Our guys played really hard, played with the type of toughness, class, and physicality that we asked of them. I was really proud of them for that. Played a lot of snaps, had the most snaps, most plays in this game than any other game this season. Had 72 snaps on offense. And so there's a lot of plays, and our guys played with great heart, great effort, and it was just a great team victory. There's a lot of things that we did wrong that we need to correct, but none of the errors made were a lack of effort. We made some mental mistakes and a few blunders, kind of hurt ourselves sometimes during that game and at times during the game. But hats off to our guys for staying locked in and executing when we had to and making some big plays when we had to make them and playing with poise and heart. And I was very proud of them.
With Rehobeth coming in with them, coached by Toby Green, of course, at one time was coaching at Cottonwood. I think right after I got out of high school is when he was there. But obviously, his program there at Rehobeth, what kind of challenges did they present, throughout the week as you was getting ready for that matchup?
Well, they're really good at running the ball. They did lots of shifts and motions like we do to confuse you. So it takes a lot of discipline to continue to line up right. They hit us on a couple big plays when we didn't adjust to some of their shifts, and that's a challenging part against those guys. And also defensively, they had a lot of depth. We're able to keep guys fresh. Had mostly one-way players up front, and that's not usual for us. Most of our opponents we go against, players play two sides of the ball. So that was another big challenge this week, is just being prepared and conditioned to play four quarters against a team that plays the players play half the amount of snaps as you And, that's always a challenge. It was really good for us, I think. And Coach Green does an awesome job at Rehobeth, and he's a great coach. And so he had his team prepared, and they were ready. And it was just a great environment, great atmosphere. We had a great crowd there. They brought a good crowd, and it was just a really exciting game, fun game to be part of. Like I said, except a few mental mistakes, we did a really good job executing and throughout the game. And in the fourth quarter, we got a little fatigued, and we got to work on that and lost our poise a couple times during right there before the half, and then again in the fourth quarter. And so we got to work on keeping our composure, keeping our poise, and playing our standard every single play, and not just the majority of the game. And so, again, I'm proud of our guys. But the good thing about it is we didn't play as good as we could have played, and we still came out on top. So there's still a lot of things to correct, and a lot of things we got to improve on if we're going to be the best team we can be.
I know you mentioned 72 snaps in the game, and I was just kind of going over, reading up on the win, and y'all had a lot of long, sustaining drives. And what was the key, with that, just kind of keeping the chains moving for you guys?
Well, we did a great job up front, blocking up front, and getting a hat on a hat against a good team, and we were content getting 5 yards per carry. And this day and time, when you watch football, there's not a lot of teams left that are okay getting sometimes 3-4 yards carry and being content with it, but we were, and we knew we were going to have to do that against a team like Rehobeth because we wanted the football, and you exert a lot more energy playing defense because you don't know where the ball is going than you do on offense. Our game plan going into it was to try to just hold on to the football and hammer it down, hammer it down there, down the defense, and to keep the ball on our side. And we were content getting 4 and 5 yards per carry. And Braylon and Cleet and King did an awesome job doing that, and our Z's played really well when they got to run the ball and counter and all. And I think that was huge. But then another, in high school football, it's very, very hard to have more than a 10-play drive because usually something goes wrong, the ball gets turned over, you get behind the sticks, and so it's very challenging. And so I was very proud of our offense for being able to sustain those drives and string together such long drives. And because Rehobeth did an excellent job limiting the explosive plays, they didn't give up many big plays. But also a couple of our long drives were also because we did some dumb things and committed some penalties that backed us up. So we had to run extra plays just to get back to where we were. So there's good and bad in it. The good side of it is we were good at sustaining our drives and hold on the ball and execute when we had to. But the downside is we did make it a little bit more difficult on ourselves, getting some key penalties here and there, especially at the goal line. So that was kind of the story of the game. And again, Braylon toted a lot for us. And a lot of his yards, they were hard-earned yards. You see all these statistics each week. And I know there's some 2A running backs that have a whole lot of yards this year, and some of them have more yards than he does. But there's very few players that have as many yards after contact as Braylon. And those are the yards that are earned, And so I was really proud of him. I was proud of our offensive line. They played very well, blocked hard up front, and gave him opportunities. And Braylon hit him. And he hit the hole when it was there, and even when it wasn't there, he hit the line and kept his feet moving. And so we were really proud of them. We're proud of our whole team. Our guys played really hard and played with toughness and class that we asked of them.
Yeah, talking about him too. Big game on the ground, but also there to start the second half. You guys open the drive, go up 24-7, but he had a touchdown catch on the double reverse play. Just talk about that play a little bit, how that came about.
Well, we kind of set that play up a little bit by running the regular reverse the last 3 weeks, and we had an idea we probably wanted to run that play in this game, and we did. And Ethan Simmons threw the ball perfect on the money. It was one of those situations where both of our receivers that were running routes were wide open. It was kind of funny because I saw Jay Garrett was wide open down the middle of the field, and I was like, "Come on, throw it to Jay." I'm sitting on my head saying, "Come on, throw it to Jay, throw it to Jay," and then by that time, he released the ball to Braylon, and Braylon was I had people in my way. I couldn't even see him. Then I looked, and he was wide open, too. I said, well, that'll work, too. It was a pretty play, and it was a very well-thrown ball. Cleet did a great job getting the handoff in traffic because there was a guy coming that almost made that tackle and hit us for a sack, but Cleet kept his composure, made that handoff, and collision the guy that's coming across to keep us from getting sacked. And King had a great block right there on the edge to give us time to throw the ball. So even though that was a great play by Braylon making the catch, it was a great throw by Ethan Simmons. It's a team effort. It took 11 guys to execute that play, and the guys that didn't get any glory did just as good of a job by blocking well enough to get the ball off. So that was a cool play.
Yeah, it's got to be one of them deals too where the players won't get excited when you call it, and if you know that they're going to run that play, and then they execute it the way that they did.
Oh, 100%. That's right. The players do love plays like that. It's just something different. Braylon loves the opportunity to go catch a ball because he's usually the one throwing it. And, of course, Ethan loves the opportunity to throw the ball because he's usually the one catching it. So those plays are fun. And it capitalizes on the talent that we have. We got so many talented guys that are able to do more than one thing. So wrinkles like that kind of help use the guys, help use your player's skill set and use it in a way that helps the team.
And talk about the defense side of the ball. I know they're in the fourth quarter. Rehobeth got a couple scores in there, but you guys played really well. You guys had a 32-7 lead at one point in the game. Just talk about the effectiveness of your defense on Friday night.
Man, our defense played hard. Our guys played really, really good up front. Our defensive line did a great job reestablishing the line of scrimmage and reading their blocks and getting flat down the line. And our linebacker play was really good. Especially our inside linebacker play was really good in that game, and then our run support from the secondary was strong. And really and truly, in the first half, the only time they had much success against us whenever they did kind of a gimmick, not a gimmick, but they shifted into a different formation and it went super unbalanced, and we just didn't fit right. We had two guys in, and one of them didn't get out wide over the number 2 receiver, and because of that, we paid for it, and they hit us for a long touchdown. But you take that one play away in the first half, and we really shut down what they were trying to do, and just played really hard and played really sound. And in the second half, we gave up a big play there earlier in the fourth quarter, and then the last drive of the game, they scored about 40 seconds left, and that was just a couple mental blunders on our end. But from top to bottom, throughout the whole game, I was very proud of our defense. We played really well. You take away 2 big explosive plays, and we hold them to 1 touchdown. And anytime you can do that this day and time, you have a great chance of being successful.
And also a big crowd, too, there on Friday night there in Cottonwood. I know a lot of people are probably excited to see Rehobeth come in just because of the old rivalry with them. But just and constantly, I see the pictures, and, because obviously, I went to Cottonwood, so I see people at the games, people I know, just a great attendance there at Cottonwood each and every week for you guys.
Yes, we had a great crowd. Our best crowd of the year in our home game by far, and that's always exciting when your players have a good crowd to play in front of. And after being cooped up for a couple of days with the hurricane that came through, I think it was really good for everybody to get to come, the whole community at large. I think it was just good for the whole community of Cottonwood and Rehobeth to get to come and see a football game after being stuck inside and kind of fearing for how bad the hurricane looked like it was going to square us up for a while. And then we're blessed that it moved east, and I think it was just great for everybody involved to get to come out and play a football game and enjoy one of the best pastime out there.
And, of course, this Friday, we get back into region play. You guys you'll go to Geneva County. Coach Al Gilmore really done a great job with them. They're 3-2 this year, and they have a really good running back in Brandon Hall. Of course, we're doing this interview on a Sunday evening. Just from what you've seen out of Geneva County, what's going to be some keys for you guys to come out with a win on Friday night?
Man, they have a great offense. Their offense is it's the number 1 offense in the state in 2A. So they're the best offense in 2A right now, and put up a lot of points and have a lot of playmakers and do a lot of different things that can put you in a bind. They run counter well. Back to the weak side, they run sweep really well. And they have a couple guys that can hit a big play on you anytime they touch the ball. They're just so fast and athletic, and they do a good job coaching them up over there. They're much improved from last year, and you got to play very disciplined against a team like that, and you got to play very physical against a team like them. And we're looking forward to the game, but it's definitely going to be a challenge. It'll be a big challenge for us this week to be able to go against the offense that good, and their defense. Have some playmakers on it as well, and so they're a very tough team. They're a good region opponent, and we got to prepare. Last week's over with. Rehobeth was a great win for us, but right now we're completely focused on Geneva County, and that's the most important game right now for us because it's the next one. And so we got to take care of business each day and really get a lot better each day this week and improve and correct mistakes that we made to give ourselves a chance to be successful.
Finally, just before I let you go, just any final thought, just on the team, the community Cottonwood, before we close the thing up?
Yes, again, our success, our secret to our success as a football team and a football program at Cottonwood is just getting everybody, whether it be a manager, whether it be assistant coach, whether it be a backup center, a long snapper, running back, offensive lineman, just getting everybody working together towards one common goal, and everybody pulling for each other, executing their job, and you can really just accomplish amazing things in life, not just in football, but in life. If you can get a group of people, a group of young men that work together and don't care who's getting credit, they're just wanting to see the goal and the mission succeed, and that's what our team has done up to this point, and that's what makes it so fun to coach. I'm just a small piece of it, a very small piece of it. Our players, our assistant coaches have just been jam up, and our team chaplain, just everybody. It's taking a team effort, and it's very humbling to see how great, what great things you can accomplish when you just work together and work as a team.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I appreciate the time coming on to talk about the Cottonwood Bears and the win on Friday night. And again, good luck this Friday against Geneva County, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Yes, Phillip, I appreciate what you do, man. I appreciate you covering our Cottonwood football program, and I appreciate what you do for high school football around and covering it and growing interest in it in the Wiregrass. We appreciate you, and I'm glad to be on.
All right, everybody, that was Cottonwood head coach Dustin Harrison. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break, but on the other side, we will go around the Wiregrass and also look over the schedule for this weekend's games in high school football. You're listening to the Wiregrass High School Football Report, brought to you by DJ Strategies and Wiregrass Daily News.
96.9 The Legend is your connection to classic country legends. But Digio Strategies has other options too. News Talk 103.9 is your source for America's top news and entertainment shows, like Rick and Bubba in the morning, Glenn Beck from 9 till 11 a.m., and Clay Travis and Buck Sexton middays from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Sean Hannity, Lars Larson, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and others fill your day with the latest news and views from America's top conservative voices. America at Night and Coast to Coast AM keep you company and connected throughout the night. Plus, Fox News, the Alabama Radio Network, and Wiregrass Daily News keep you informed with national, international, state, and local news. And with more musical choices like All the Hits 106.7 KMX, Today's Country 95.5 WTVY, and Music 107.7. Digio Strategies gives you more choices and more variety. Listen on air, online, and on our apps. 96.9 The Legend is just the beginning.
All right, and once again, as I said, thanks to Coach Harrison for coming on the show. Now we're going to go around the Wiregrass, look at some scores in Week 5. Of course, in Week 5, no region play, and you will not hear Dothan's post-game segment either because Dothan was off this week. So was Enterprise. So no 7A Region 2 teams were playing affiliated with the Wiregrass on this past week. So we'll jump into it. Wetumpka defeated Eufaula 14-3. Benjamin Russell defeated Charles Henderson 29-0. Carroll defeated Pike County 24-17. This was the first home game of the season for Carroll, and it was the first win for head coach Matt Malone. Quarterback Holden Pollock had 3 touchdown passes for Carroll. Headland defeated Ashford 21-14. Cam Sconier had the 1-yard touchdown with 44 seconds to give Headland the lead. He had 2 touchdowns in the game. Andalusia defeated Beauregard 28-27. Opp defeated Destin 39-0. New Brockton defeated Monroe County 30-7. Dale County defeated Ayrton 28-12. Junior Smith had 2 touchdown catches, and he had 5 overall catches for 165 yards in that one. Slocum defeated Geneva 10-0. For Slocum, Hayes Holton had 132 yards. Wicksburg defeated Delville 35-12. Caden Mims had 101 yards and 2 touchdowns for Wicksburg. That one, and I was at this game, so since Dustin was not playing, I was not in the 96.9 studio, so I actually went out to a game, and I went out to this one. Of course, it was homecoming for Wicksburg. I'll say this: Wicksburg, a very physical team, good running the ball. They played really well in this game. But I'll say this about Delville. Obviously, it's a rebuilding effort there, and I'll tell you this: they did not look like a team that was rebuilding. The energy, the enthusiasm, just they continued to play hard. They never gave up in the games. I'm very impressed with what Delville's got going on. I think in a few years, they keep head on this track. This team will get better and better. Pike Liberal Arts defeated Notasoga 35-6. Abbeville defeated Barber County 68-6. Highland Home defeated Brantley 56-6. Elba defeated Goshen 48-34. Alvin Henderson had 352 yards on 26 attempts and 4 touchdowns. He had a 32-yard touchdown with 120 to put Elba up by 14. Baker out of Florida defeated Houston County 33-18. Kinston defeated Sampson 63-27. And Kinston had a great running attack in this one. They had 3 running backs go over 100 yards. Gabriel Hadaway had 165 yards and 3 touchdowns. Colby 2 had 133 and 2 touchdowns. And Brett McCullough had 100 yards and 1 touchdown in that one. All right, something different we're going to do here. Well, not different, but since this was a week we just came off of where everybody was at a region play, wanted to kind of just give an update, go through the regions and let you guys know who's doing what, where everybody stands in the regions that are affiliated with Wiregrass teams. So 7A Region 2, of course, I mentioned Dothan and Enterprise were off this past week. So Region 2 in 7A, you've got Auburn, Carver, and Central Phoenix City all sitting there at 3-0. Then you have Opelika at 2-1. Enterprise and Dothan are behind them. And you have Jag and Smith Station. This is just a tough regions. You have 6 playoff quality teams. I mean, look at Dothan. Yeah, they're 0-3 in region, but at the same time, they've lost by 7 points to Enterprise, to Carver, and to Central Phoenix City. I mean, they were a yard away from tying or defeating Central Phoenix City just a few weeks ago. 6A Region 2, of course, the only team in our area here that is in this region is Rehobeth. Right now, Rehobeth sits at 0-2 in region. Top on it, you have Russell County, Pike Road, Stanhope, Elmore, and Wetumpka right now are 1-4, which Percy Julian is tied with Wetumpka for that 4th spot at 1-2. Then you have Rehobeth and Park Crossing at the end on that one. In 5A Region 2, Catholic Montgomery and Andalusia, they're both 2-0 in region play. Catholic Montgomery is undefeated overall. Then you see you have Eufaula and Charles Henderson at both at 2-1. And then after that, teams trying to get into that top 4. Greenville 1-2, Carroll 0-2, and then Headland at 0-3. And now, let's see, we just did that one. Let's do 4A Region 2. This is a very competitive region, too. Opposites at the top at 5-0 overall, 3-0, and then you have a logjam of 2-1 teams. You have Dale County, Pike County, Strawn, and Ashford all at 2-1. Then following them is New Brockton, Daleville, and Geneva there. So that's a very, very competitive region there in 4A Region 2. And 3A Region 2, this is a very good one too as well. You have Trinity sitting at top. Then a logjam of 2-1 region teams with Montgomery Academy, Houston Academy, Wicksburg, and Alabama Christian. Then after that, you have Prattville Christian at 1-2, Slocum and Northside Methodist both at 0-3. Now, we do have 2 regions in 2A we pay attention to. Of course, 2A Region 2 and then 2A Region 3. 2A Region 2, of course, Cottonwood, 6-0 overall, 3-0 region play, just coming off that win over Rehobeth. Then you have Ayrton also 3-0, and Cottonwood's got them coming up in a couple of weeks. Then you have Providence Christian and GW Long. They're both 2-1. Then you have Geneva County and Houston County at 1-2. And then Abbeville and Sampson are 0-3. In 2A Region 3, Highland Home, they're at top at 3-0, along with Laverne, who's 2-0 region play. Then you have Pike Liberal Arts and Goshen both tied up with 2-1 records. And then at the bottom there you have Calhoun, Barber County, and Zion Chapel, who have not got wins on the year. And then we're looking at 1A Region 2. Georgiana sits at the top at 3-0 in that region. Then you have McKenzie, Elba, and Brantley sitting there at a 2-1 records. It looks like Elba has really turned it around since that 1-2 start they had. And then Florala, Red Level, Kinston, they're all 1-2. And then Pleasant Home, they sit at 0-3 in 1A Region 2. So that's how that's looking so far. And we'll try to keep you updated on how the regions look each week. Now, looking at the schedule for this week, which will be week 6, at 7A Region 2, games here locally, which you'll be able to hear this game on 96.9 The Legend. 5-1 Opelika will be at 2-3 Dothan. Then you'll have 3-2 Enterprise at 5-0 Carver. And just looking at the rest of the region, if you're interested, 5-0 Auburn will be at 5-0 Central. So that is obviously the game of the week. And then you'll have 0-6 Mid Station at 1-4 Jack. 6A Region 2, 2-3 Percy Julian will be at 2-3 Rehobeth. 5A Region 2, 1-5 Carroll will be at 5-0 Montgomery Catholic. 3-3 Eufaula will be at 3-3 Greenville. 3-3 Andalusia will be at 2-3 Charles Henderson. You got in 4A Region 2, New Brockton will be at Geneva. Opp will be at Dale County. That's a big game there. Potentially, Dale County could jump up to first place with a win in that one. Daleville will be at Pike County. Then Ashford will be at Strawn. In 3A Region 2, Northside Methodist will be at Slocum. Houston Academy will be at Alabama Christian Academy. And then Wicksburg will be at Prattville Christian Academy. And 2A Region 2, Ayrton will be at Providence. That's going to be a very interesting and entertaining game, should be. GW Long will be at Abbeville. Sampson will be at Houston County. And Cottonwood will be at Geneva County. Of course, we talked about that game a little bit with Coach Harrison. Then in 2A Region 3, Zion Chapel will be at Pike Liberal Arts. And then Barber County will be at Goshen. And then in 1A Region 2, Brantley will be at Georgiana. Elba will be at Red Level. And Florala will be at Kinston. So that is your look at this weekend's games. And that is going to do it for this week's edition of the Wiregrass High School Football Report. Please subscribe and rate, review the podcast. I really appreciate if you would subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, check it out over at the Wiregrass Daily News and my YouTube channel, Phillip Jordan Sports. And we'll be back next week. Got some good stuff going up on the Phillip Jordan podcast this week. We'll be recapping SEC football. We'll be talking about Falcons football on there. So a lot of cool stuff going down over on the Phillip Jordan podcast. Again, I always appreciate you taking time out and making this show part of your day. Everybody has a great week. Talk to you next time.